Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today is September 8th, 2:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's go through our log and pull up another browser session. So between Wednesday and yesterday, maybe last night, the markets have turned. So we're looking at market cap. Earlier this morning, the asset class for cryptocurrencies was down, or was up actually this morning. And as you can see here now in the afternoon, it is back down with very few that are profitable according to CoinMarketCap. So we're back in the doldrums. Now I'm going to show you some logs from yesterday of how this system did, which was not too good, but still show it to you anyways. So let me just pull it up. Just got to remember the name of it. Let me see here. I just got to remember it would help if I had. I think this. There we go. Okay, so that's the log we want. Is this one for today? Earlier today. So what it did was it ran through the night. Last night. And man, my typing is atrocious. Ran through the night. And what I've done is I've tightened up the stop loss. So you're going to see quite a few losses here. And this is on purpose. So I'm going to show you the exits or closing on these positions. And this started last night, September 7th, 12:14 a.m., just after midnight. And we'll see where things went. So you can clearly see here the ROCP rate of change percent is between the closing price and the original price of the entry. So what this basically means here is that this is down, that position was down 0.6%. So here you can see we have a loss down 0.6%. The next one here, we're down 1.8 at 15:42. That was, I guess, in the afternoon. Again, in the afternoon again. We have a loss here, down 0.74. Then we're down 0.67. You can see here's down starting 1607 yesterday. Again, we're actually made money here at 1.22%. Not very many. And then this one made money at, let's see, what was it? Up 1.5%. That was yesterday. And then we're getting into 1736. Again, a loss of 0.6%. That one is down 0.7. This one is down 0.87, 0.61, 0.56. Now, I want to try to point out a few trends here. This one was a big loss at 2.12%. That one again, 1.04. That one's down 0.84. You can see there's a lot of losses. So we've taken it up to 20.03. So it looks like we're just repeating ourselves here. So not a good day. So obviously I had to put in some safeguards to try to minimize that. So the whole point of this is to obviously go through these logs because you'll be able to see the trend of a particular asset. So in my case, what I can do now is, if you know Linux, the commands. So if I do position cat, which is categorize, or type it out, the name of the file, do a grep, I can trail the life cycle of this particular. So let's say if I want this position here, I can track it, see how it did. So this is just a tip. Okay, so let me show you the results here. So you can clearly see here, this is when the position was put on, and at what time, the rate of change, and then the whole life cycle of that position. And then finally how it closed at down 1.94%. So for those on the podcast that only have the audio, what you want to type is in a Linux or a Mac OS command console is just type in cat, get to categorize, cat, name of the file. So in my case it would be some sort of log. And then you use this horizontal bar, the vertical bar. In my case, where is that located? Yeah, it'd be above, I believe it's the backslash. And then type in grep, which will do a find, and the name or the text that you want to find. Using that combination, you can see the positions. And like I said before, in previous videos, what we're dealing with here is the name of the currency pair plus the unique timestamp of the entry. So we can, because of that, we are now able to, as I said, go through the entire life cycle of that position. I can do that for any position, or pretty well anything using that tip. So because of that, we're able to see, as I showed you earlier, a lot of losses in this particular log. So then let me just go back. So we have our Redis desktop manager. There's only one position would be considered to be looked at. And I'm going to show you today's file or log. So let me just show you positions log, and then the most recent one, the most up-to-date. And then let me load that up. So let me do another close here. So we're doing a lot better. The first one is down. So the difference between this log and today is another iteration of the coding. And there's a number of what I call safeguards. I'm not going to tell you what I did, but what I will tell you is when you go through the logs, you will find patterns. You'll find thresholds. The idea here is to minimize those losses, minimize the system from taking on those bad trades. And when you go through a log and analyze, you'll clearly see by tracing these positions, specifically right at the beginning, you'll be able to identify those positions that are going to go south, quite literally, by looking at, in my case, the rate of change percentage. Okay? And you'll, over time, doing this grep, you'll be able to see what may start a position to go off the rails. And if that's the case and you've got that pattern, code that up as a condition, as a test to prevent your real position from going bad, knowing these new set of trading rules and parameters and thresholds that you can use to prevent bad trades, as I showed you earlier. So now if I go through this new log, what will happen is I'm minimizing the number of trades, and probably safe to say minimizing, I'm going to estimate at least 90% of bad trades that will go south, and you'll see it. So here's the first one, and that is a loss, okay? So now we have another one here of this one, and I think there was some profitable ones here as well. Yeah, so this one is profitable. You can always tell that's the profitable. This one was profitable as well at 1.18. This one is profitable at 1.112. We'll just see what else we got here. This one's profitable as well. This is, oh no, I'm sorry. So this one took a loss of, how was it, down 0.6. This one was up 2.5%. So we are now, is this another new one? This one took a loss. So I'm going to estimate about half of the trades are losers. The idea, as I said before, is to prevent bad trades. And I found what I thought would be a solution, but this is what you are trying to prevent from. If I was to trace this using that grep technique, so if I did cat positions, position 2 log, grep, and then our position name, which is this, you'll clearly see what went on is, yeah, I can see what the problem is, and hopefully you too can. And let me just go through this here. So that was another loss. Let me do the same thing here. This is how I trace through these logs to see what's going on. And again, I can see the problem. It's not getting caught for some reason. But let me just see here. Let's find the next close. So that's a profit. I'm going to just do this just as a... Okay, so this is a profitable one. Let's see if we could find the same type of trade. Yeah. That one I could have my system take. That one, was that profitable? Yeah, that was profitable. This is profitable. Let's just see here. Okay. So, okay. So I am going to go back. See right here? Yeah, I can see why it's actually made a little bit of money. This one was a loser as well. Okay. When you use these techniques, to be honest, I think this is the better way to trade, to build trading logic and eventually would become strategies. Yeah, I can see that problem right there. That trade shouldn't have been taken on. So profit was made here on this particular trade. Let's see what happened on this one. Okay, so that was profitable as well. So realistically, out of all of these, two for sure I could prevent it from being a loser. If I still use the same logic, I would have prevented potential profitable trades. Just give me a second here as I go through this one. Okay. So that was a loser as well. I could have probably prevented all losers. I would have prevented two profitable positions. And the thing is, even the one was a clear winner, and that one did make the most amount that I've seen. So I can, for sure, minimize all the bad losing trades using this logic here. Okay, so let me just see what's going on here. Yes, that one. Which one is it? This is a loser. And I think we checked this one as well. So I could have prevented that one as well. But the idea here is now working with actual real data. And what it really comes down to is probability. What your aim here is to get a strategy that's going to consistently profit. It will take the odd unprofitable position. That may be 10%, 20%, maybe in my case, I don't want to take more than 1/3, meaning 33% of the positions will be unprofitable. From there, on the other end, on the profitable, by putting and tightening the stop loss in your parameters, you will prevent highly profitable positions, but they're very low probability. So again, it's a probability and just averages that you're dealing with. But to try to get one of those extra winners, you're going to be taking a lot of losers, and that's what you're trying to prevent, to eliminate as many losing positions. But at the same time, when you do get a winning position, that it might not be a full-on winning position, but it's going to be consistent based upon the threshold you'll put on the upside. So it's really important to go through these logs and figure those parameters out and the logic, and use these techniques that I've been using, like this cat, name of the log file, plus the grep option here that I'm showing you to help you determine that. It takes probably a couple of weeks. But once you get to that point, I think you'll be a lot farther ahead. And this, again, this does not include a lot of heavy math knowledge or even any form. Hi everybody, Brian here. Machine learning. So through all these other videos I've made with these logs starting, looks like about a week ago. So a lot has been learned. The strategies, the position, call it the position manager, has gone through a lot of iterations. I think I'm on my 9th or 10th version in the last week. And it seems to be working, getting closer to the goal. And it's going to be more consistent in terms of profitability, instead of either looking for a highly profitable position, but yet you got to go through probably 5 or 10 bad losing positions to get the big winner. You may never get the big winner, but at least using this logic, you'll be able to get more winning trades consistently, but the profit won't be there. But you're still going to get a lot more winning positions, which is really what you want, and eliminate as much as possible the losing trades as well, or the positions. Hopefully this will help you out later. I also forgot to mention, because this is cryptocurrency, I don't think this logic will apply to things like Forex or very slow moving asset classes like futures or options. So this pretty well may only work in the world of cryptocurrency because of the wild and very wide swings on both up and downside, as well as the broker fee is another big factor. So if your broker fee is too high, or your exchange commission fee is way too high, and this sort of logic will not work. But because I'm on Binance and it's only 0.1% commission fee, this works because the commission fee is so small. It's negligible based upon the targets and parameters that I'm setting at. So I want to make sure, and this logic most likely will only work in the world of cryptocurrency as it stands right now at the time of this recording. Later.